Hi there, I'm Brissa Cabe, the Digital Learning Specialist here at LCMS. Welcome to our App Chat for Educators podcast, where we'll explore different apps, instructional strategies, and other digital resources for education. Thanks for tuning in. This week, I'm here with two of our awesome LCMS teachers, Vanessa Marquez and Alex Stoffa. Alex, Vanessa, please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles here on campus.
My name is Vanessa and I teach 7th grade RLA. It's my first year teaching here and as a teacher as well, and I'm just really excited about our year.
And I'm Alex Stoffa. I teach 7th grade RLA. It is also my first year. I've been here for about a year and a half because I was subbing prior to my job, but I'm very happy to be here as an RLA teacher now.
I love the fact that even though y'all are both first-year teachers, you're both innovative in your classroom and you're both willing to share and grow and help other teachers learn and grow as well. I know that this year you've both worked hard to make your RLA classrooms not only instructive, but engaging for your students. From what I've seen and heard, you're both creative instructors and always looking for ways to engage your kids. Now, word on the street is that you two are pros with several different digital tools to do so, but one in particular stands out that I'm sure most teachers on campus have already heard of, Canva. Can you tell us a little bit about what Canva is?
Yeah, Canva is basically like an online PowerPoint that gives you a whole lot of extra tools and it's just more seamless. It's got a lot of things built in to where you can be creative without having to learn the program very deeply.
You can also make worksheets or posters on it as well. I use it a lot for that. And like the banner on top of my Google Classroom so that it looks fun and inviting for the kids.
Can you give us some other examples of how you personally use Canva for yourselves as instructors?
I'm going to let Ms. Marquez tell you guys more about how she uses it, but for me, it is mainly the way that I deliver the agenda for the day. So I'll make slides for the entire week, and then students will be able to see the template that we've got this week. They'll get a preview of all the course content, and as we go throughout the week, they're not going to be surprised by any new graphics, new visuals. They'll be used to it, and they'll be excited to see what comes next, hopefully.
I use Canva as well as a PowerPoint slide during instruction. I really prefer Canva to anything else and will remake a PowerPoint someone sends me on Canva because you can make a timer in Canva and it just like appears on top and I don't have to pre-put it into the slide or be like, okay, they only get 5 minutes for this. So it really allows me to adapt on the spot to what my students need. So if I figured out in second period that 2 minutes was much too much time for something or that it was much too little time for something, I can adapt and give them a different timer. And my students seem to only work when there's a timer on. So it allows me to push any button while I'm presenting and put a timer on the screen.
I do that as well. I definitely copy over slides that I've gotten from Google Slides or PowerPoint into Canva, which is also another really good tool because it doesn't take a whole lot to copy and paste over. It's very good at taking the text that you put and taking it in, and normally it puts it in the font that you're using for the PowerPoint. So there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different fonts that you can use for Canva. And when you copy stuff over, it normally translates to Canva really well. So it doesn't take that long. And because it's on the internet, you can access it from any computer. You don't have to be on your computer with your PowerPoint file. You can just open your account and pull it right up.
That sounds great. I know that as teachers, we're always looking for things that are versatile, things that we can adjust and adapt to meet not only our needs, but our kids' needs in the classroom. And it sounds like Canva is a great tool to do that, especially because it does give you all those graphic options to make things engaging and attractive for your kids in class. So how do you think this tool and even the way you've used it have impacted the learning process or impacted your classroom environment for your students?
The number one thing that I think it does for me, and I want to give this trick to anybody who's listening as well, is that it's more interactive. There are certain elements that you can add that make the students engaged with what you're teaching. So we're in October, it's Halloween. There are a plethora of elements that you can add to your text that are adjacent to what you're teaching, but keep kids in the mood for whatever season we're in. And I have to admit, whenever something's moving on the screen, the kids are more engaged. Even if it's not something that's like, hey, read this text that's bobbing in and out. If you just have some sort of element on the page that has some movement, kids are more engaged. So for me,
their attention.
Absolutely. For me, as long as I have something moving on my slides, the students are like, okay, I'm willing to read the text because it's aesthetically pleasing for me to look at this page.
You know, and that might sound trivial or maybe insignificant to somebody else, but really, like, in this day and age, and for anybody, honestly, if things don't look cool and things don't look attractive and engaging, then really who's going to be engaged by it? So I love that you use it and have that intent for your kids.
An accidental plus of Canva for me is I hand out Jolly Ranchers if my students find a spelling error in something I'm doing, or a grammatical error, because it means A, they're reading the board, and B, they've caught a mistake that I didn't. But I never noticed Canva's little squiggly line under a misspelled word. And so there are so many more spelling errors on the board, which might be bad for some people, but encourages them to read everything because they could get a Jolly Rancher out of it, because I am terrible at spelling and Canva will not tell me.
I love that you're not only using Canva to make your content engaging and aesthetically pleasing, but you're kind of getting the kids to practice grammar and other things as well. That's kind of fun, and honestly, who would call it an accident? I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great way to engage your kids.
Great idea. So I want to ask, how has becoming familiar with Canva kind of impacted the way that you teach and impacted the way that you might run your classroom?
Well, for me, and I can't speak for Ms. Marquez, but since we're both first-year teachers, it's impacted the way that I teach the most because I have a mentor at our school, and we're able to collaborate just like you can on Google Slides. You're able to see who's working on your slide, you're able to make edits together. So for me, I get feedback from my mentor, we get to collaborate on what we make, and I go into my classroom feeling much more confident about the content that I'm going to be teaching.
Awesome.
I feel like for me, just Canva is a lot easier to use. I hate making PowerPoints. I hate teaching off of PowerPoints, but like they're so necessary all the time. Because it's so much easier to use and make it aesthetically pleasing a lot faster, it doesn't frustrate me as fast as like doing it on Google Slides would. And then I'm just slightly annoyed the whole time I'm presenting a PowerPoint.
Fair.
But on Canva, it's not annoying, and I can quickly change things on the spot in a way I can't on PowerPoint or Keynote or Google Slides or any of those things. And so I think that's really allowed me the freedom to change things as things are happening. So be like, okay, we're doing an abridged version of this, maybe because of time, you have 5 minutes, or you have...
Yeah, it's just more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Accessible. I think that's a great word for it, because not only do the kids see things and have fun with it, but you as teachers can enjoy it as well and adjust it to fit your instruction. And as we said, it's so important to be able to kind of even on the fly adjust for what you and your class need in the moment. And I think that's pretty powerful that Canva can do that. Just a reminder for any listeners out there, if you sign up for Canva with your LCISD email, you get access to all of the premium features. Educators get free premium accounts, which gives you access to amazing tools, not only PowerPoints and slides and infographics, worksheets, but things that you and even your students can create and explore with as well. So something else I wanted to ask y'all, and I don't know if you've had time to dig into it because they just released it this week, but have you seen all of the new like AI and magic features that Canva have released just a couple of days ago?
Yes, so a week ago, I got a prompt from Canva, because apparently they know that I use it quite frequently, that said, do you want to add this to your calendar, Wednesday, Magic Day, or whatever, right? And so I did. I had their alert on my calendar, and I got to look through all their AI stuff. And I'm big on the AI stuff. I like ChatGPT. I like large language models in general. So there were some plugins that came with ChatGPT that were supposed to integrate with Canva and give you some good outputs, but they did not. So it's awesome that Canva has decided to cut out the middleman and just take the AI into their own program and use it for all of the people who are working in it. And it does some outstanding things. It can expand pictures that you've created. It can come up with pictures based on text.
Oh.
So if you're like, I'm teaching about the ugly duckling or whatever, right? You can type in a text prompt that says, I would like 3 yellow ducks and 1 black duck all swimming in a pond.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
You will get a picture output that gives you exactly what you need. Now, it's new technology, so sometimes it doesn't come out right, but it's still very, very cool.
I got to play with it while we were looking for Alex a little bit, and I told it to make me a lesson on commas. Now, the lesson on commas could use some work. My students would fall asleep if I presented that PowerPoint just as it was, but it still gave me a starting point and a great place to jump off of, as like these are the important things to hit on commas.
Which it's always good practice as a teacher to make sure what you're giving to your kids fits your teaks and fits what you know they need.
Yep.
But that's great that you found it as a starting point and something that honestly, like it sounds to me like these tools and these features are a time saver.
Absolutely. You can make a slide in Canva a lot quicker than you can in PowerPoint or Google Slides just because it's built to be viewed. Like PowerPoint and Google Slides, they don't know what you're going to be using those programs for. It's not always going to be for a PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
So Canva is well known for being something that's going to be a visual stimulus for the consumer. And I think that they're built that way.
What I really want to integrate into my classroom going forward is the other like buttons you can press while presenting. Like when we do pop on Thursday, it's supposed to be like an invitation to celebrate. We're supposed to celebrate everybody's sentences. And I think the C when you're presenting brings up confetti and just like
yeah,
having that like, oh, that was so beautiful. Let me put confetti.
There are a lot of little character commands that you can do that are supposed to do specific things on your PowerPoint, so it becomes alive in a way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing y'all talk about Canva because typically when we think of this app and we think of this program, we all think of like graphic design, we think of the worksheets and the infographics and stuff that you can create, but we don't always think about the implications and the effects that it has on teaching practices itself. The effects it has on pedagogy and your classroom environment and just engaging instruction. So I really appreciate y'all coming here today and sharing your thoughts. Canva is definitely one of my personal favorite digital tools, and so I love that teachers like you are making such good use of it in your classrooms. Is there anything else that you want to add or say that maybe we didn't get to before we wrap up our time?
The only 2 things that I want to add are if you are on Canva, there's always a drop-down menu to your left. Click the Elements button and look at the graphics, and then look at the stickers. The stickers are all the moving elements, so just scroll through those, add a couple, and it's going to spice up your PowerPoint.
Something I've been messing around with a little bit is on things that are like worksheets, or I'm sure you could do it to presentations too. You can assign it with Google Classroom, like it'll pair using that template. Canva will also let you draw, so it still lets them type or draw on something, but it could be really helpful for like a big project.
But there is integration between Google and Canva.
And you can like assign them the template, and then they can go into their Canva.
That's easy, and like you said, if they can draw, they can add text. It's kind of accessible, and even a little bit of differentiation like that can be a game changer for some of our kids.
Oh, one more thing. You can animate all your slides. So as you click through your slides, every element that you add will become animated and dynamically emerge on the screen. And there's a whole lot of things that you can do, and you can apply those animations to every slide, so you don't have to get fancy with it.
Nice.
But it just spices it up even more.
So I love that you mentioned that, because Canva is the place for people to get creative when they don't feel like they are creative people. It has so many templates and so many features that it makes you feel like you are a graphic designer, like you are a pro, even when you may not have those skills already. So
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. All right, Vanessa, Alex, thank y'all so much for joining in this fantastic conversation today. I loved getting to learn about how you and your students have engaged and used Canva in your classroom. I know that it can be a time saver, a game changer for other teachers. It's just a matter of getting it out there, what all it can do and how it can support your instruction.
Go Pirates!
Listeners, stay tuned in the coming weeks for more app chats with other LCMS educators. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time. If you have a tech tool, a digital learning strategy, or something else that you would love to share, let me know. I would love to have an app chat with you.